Hello everyone. So we were discussing about the sexual reproduction in plants. In the last class we have discussed that how does the sexual reproduction, we have started the topic, that is how does the sexual reproduction takes place in plants. We know that in sexual reproduction both the gametes are involved, that is male gamete and female gamete. So the development of both the gametes also takes place in the flower itself, because flower is the reproductive part of the plant. So flower is the reproductive part, it contains both the male and the female part in it. So male and female part will produce their male and female gamete, and it is the necessity of sexual reproduction. So male gamete, that is the development of male gamete, we have discussed in the previous lecture. Today we will discuss how does the female gamete will form. What is the process of female gamete? What are the events that occurs during the formation of female gamete? So let's continue with the topic, that is the sexual reproduction in plants. We know that gynoecium is the female part of the flower. It is the female part of the flower. Its single unit is known as carpel, which is made up of stigma, style and ovary. We have discussed in the previous class that flower is the reproductive part of the plant. It contains male part and female part in it. The male part is known as the androecium and the female part is known as the gynoecium. So basically gynoecium is the female part of the flower. It contains its single unit, gynoecium is the plural form, its single unit is known as carpel, which is made up of stigma, style and ovary. This is the female part of the flower, which is made up of three parts called stigma, style and ovary. Ovary is the basal swollen part which contains ovules in it. One to many ovules are present in the ovary itself. Now ovule is also known as megasporangium. Now what is megasporangium? It is a place where megaspores will form. Now what is megaspores? Megaspores are, we can say, the cells which give rise to the female gamete, which are responsible for the formation of female gamete. जहाँ से female gamete form होंगे, जहाँ से embryo sac का development होगा, वही megaspore होते हैं. So basically the place where megaspores will form is known as the megasporangium, or we can say the ovule. Now we will see the structure of ovule. First we have to discuss the structure of ovule. What is the structure of ovule? Ovule कैसा होता है? megasporangium कैसा होता है? So this is the wall of ovary. It contains a tissue known as placenta. It contains a tissue known as placenta. Now this is the tissue. From this tissue, ovule is attached. Ovule remains attached with the help of this or with this tissue. This is the wall of ovary. It contains a tissue known as placenta. With this tissue, ovule is attached. That is, ovule is attached with the wall of ovary with the help of a tissue called placenta. And this ovule, this is what? This is ovule. Now it will form later, after fertilization it will be converted into seed, that we will discuss a little later. So this ovule which is attached with the placenta, so connection between the ovule and the placenta, it is connected with the placenta with the help of a stalk-like structure called as funicle. Ovule remain attached with the tissue of the ovary wall with the help of a stalk-like structure known as funicle. And the point of attachment of ovule and the funicle is known as hilum. Hilum is what? It is the point of attachment between the ovule and the funicle. Funicle is what? Funicle is a stalk-like structure which connects the ovule with the ovary wall or with the placenta. Now this ovule, it contains two or more protective walls. It contains two or more protective walls. These are the walls which are known as integments. This is the outer integument and this one is the inner integument. These are what? These are the integments. Outer integument and the inner integument. They are protective in nature, that is, they protect the inner mass of the cells. Now, wherever the point where these integments are absent, that point is known as micropyle. Is known as micropyle, or we can say micropylar end. Opposite to this end is this end which is known as chaliza, or we can say chalizal end. Ovule remains attached with the wall of ovary with the help of a stalk called funicle, and the place and the tissue with which this stalk is attached, that is known as placenta. The point of attachment between the ovule and the stalk is known as hilum. It consists of two protective layers called outer and inner integments. The point where these integments are absent, that is known as micropylar end, or we can say micropyle. The end opposite to this is known as chalizal end, or we can say the region called chaliza. Now, this contains a region inside. Since it is the covering, it covers a mass of cells which is present in the center of the ovule. In the center of the ovule, what is present? The mass of cells of parenchymatous cells. The mass of parenchymatous cells or parenchymatous tissue is present in the center of the ovule, which is known as nucellus. This is the parenchymatous tissue which is present in the center of ovule, which is known as nucellus. Now, what this is? The structure of ovule, or we can say the megasporangium. Ovary wall having a tissue called placenta with which the ovule is attached with the help of a stalk called funicle, and the point of attachment between ovule and the funicle is known as hilum. It contains two protective layers called outer and inner integument. The point where the integuments are absent, that is known as micropylar end, and the opposite to that is the chalizal end, which this integuments covers the mass of cells, the mass of parenchymatous tissue which is present in the center of the ovule, that is known as nucellus. So, it is the structure of ovule, or we can say the megasporangium. Now, in this structure the megaspores will form, and from that megaspore, which is the primary female gametophyte, that will produce the फीमेल गैमीट्स. जो मेगास्पोर यहाँ पर प्रोड्यूस होंगे वो लेटर, दैट मेगास्पोर लेटर फॉर्म और लेटर गिव राइज टू द फीमेल गैमीट. जैसा कि हमने डिस्कस किया था इन द माइक्रोस्पोरोजेनेसिस, दैट इज द माइक्रोस्पोर मदर सेल विल गिव राइज टू द फोर माइक्रोस्पोर. Microspore mother cell is basically diploid in nature. Similarly, the nucellus, the cells, the parenchymatous cells which is present in the center of the ovule, or we can say the nucellar cell, these are diploid in nature. They will differentiate into the megaspore mother cell, and then after meiosis the megaspores will form, that we will discuss over here. So, this is the structure of ovule or the megasporangium. Now, we will discuss the megasporogenesis, that is how does the megaspores will form. Megasporogenesis, that is the process of development of megaspores. What is megasporogenesis? It is the process of development of megaspores is known as megasporogenesis. Now, what will happen? One of the cells of nucellus from the micropylar region, this is the micropylar end, that is the micropyle. From this region, one of the cell of nucellus will differentiate, that is it becomes enlarged, its cytoplasm becomes dense, its nucleus becomes prominent. I am repeating, one of the cell of nucellus from the micropylar region, it will start differentiating, that is the nucleus inside the nucellar cell, only one cell I am talking about, one of the cell of nucellus, it will start differentiating, that is their cytoplasm become dense, its nucleus becomes prominent and the cell will enlarge, and then that cell will known as megaspore mother cell. What do we call it? Megaspore mother cell. Now what will happen in megasporogenesis? This megaspore mother cell will give rise to megaspore, and that process is known as megasporogenesis. That is the process of formation of megaspore from the megaspore mother cell is known as megasporogenesis. These are diploid in nature. These cells are diploid in nature as we have discussed in the microsporogenesis, and hence the megaspore mother cell which is formed from the nucellar cell is again diploid. Similar as we have seen in microsporogenesis, in that microspore mother cell is also diploid in nature, and from that meiosis takes place and hence the 4 microspores are formed. We have discussed now microspore mother cell which will undergo meiosis to form 4 microspore, 3 at the front and 1 at the back. These are 2 in number, that is 2 and diploid in nature, and the microspores which are formed, these are 4 microspores which are haploid in nature. This was the condition in microsporogenesis, and the same condition which we will also see in the megasporogenesis. Now this megaspore mother cell will participate in the process called megasporogenesis. Megaspore mother cell which is 2 and that is diploid in nature, it will undergo meiosis which is a reductional division, and hence the megaspores which are formed will be haploid in nature. The megaspores which will form after meiosis, they will be haploid in nature, that is 4 haploid megaspore will form. 4 haploid megaspores will form which are haploid in nature. Now it is called the linear tetrad because they are 4 in number which are arranged in a linear manner. Now out of this, these 3 will degenerate. This is a characteristic feature which we are able to see over here. That is, out of the 4 megaspore that is formed after the meiosis, only 3 will degenerate and only the 1 will remain functional. The 3 megaspore which will degenerate are the cells which are towards the micropylar region, and the one which remains functional is the chaliceal one, that is the megaspore which is towards the chaliceal end. This is the megaspore mother cell, it will divide and it form the linear tetrad. Now these 3 will degenerate which is towards the micropylar end, and the one which is at the top, that is towards the chaliceal end, it remains functional. Now this is the megaspore which remains functional. Now what will happen? This is the megaspore which remains functional. It will undergo this one, I am talking about this megaspore. This will undergo 3 karyokinesis. That is, the functional megaspore will undergo 3 times karyokinesis, that is the division of nuclei will occur, that also of 3 times. That is, the nuclei will divide 3 times, and because of the nuclear division or the karyokinesis, the nuclei we got are 8 in number. What we have got? We have got 8 nuclei after karyokinesis. The megaspore which remains functional after the meiosis will undergo 3 times karyokinesis, and hence we got the 8 nucleated structure. Now what will happen? They will rearrange themselves. Rearrange themselves. These nuclei will rearrange themselves. Karyokinesis has occurred. Now cytokinesis will occur, that is the wall formation will occur and cytoplasm will start accumulating around each and every nuclei, and hence we will got the multinucleated structure. How we got the multinucleated structure? Basically this all the events is occurring inside this cell only. These structures are occurring inside the cell, megaspore mother cell only, that is it first undergoes the meiosis and hence 4 megaspore will form. Out of 4 that 3 will degenerate, and out of 4 3 will degenerate, only the 1 remain functional. Now that 1 which remains functional, it will undergo karyokinesis and cytokinesis. After that the structure which we will got, so what will happen? These are this megaspore, it will undergo 3 times karyokinesis, and hence as a result we got 8 nuclei in this structure in the megaspore mother cell. Now these 8 nuclei will rearrange themselves, cytokinesis will occur, wall formation will occur, and what will happen? These 3 nuclei, they will start move towards the Chalzaland. Wall formation has started, cytokinesis has occurred. Now cytokinesis also has occurred, because of which these 3 nuclei will move towards the Chalzaland and they will form the 3 cells. 3 nuclei will move towards the micropylar end. These 3 nuclei will move towards the micropylar end and they will also form the 3 individual cells, and the 2 nuclei will remain at the center. This structure we will got. This is what? This is finicle which is attached with the placenta. The point of attachment of ovule and the finicle is known as hilum. This region is known as micropyle. These are the integument, outer and inner, outer and inner. These are the integuments. Now the cells which is present in the or we can say at the micropylar end, this we call as egg apparatus. Complete collectively we call as egg apparatus, which consists of the 2 adjacent cells, that is the cells which is present at the corners are known as synergid cells. Synergid cells. And the cell which is present at the middle, or we can say at the mid, is known as egg cell. Okay. The cell which is present at the center is known as, at the center of the cells which is present at the micropylar end, these are 3 in number. The cell which is present at the center, which is larger one and is known as egg cell, and adjacent to the egg cell is present the synergid cells. और इसको हम completely कहते हैं, the complete structure is known as egg apparatus. So the micropylar region, or we can say at the micropylar region, egg apparatus is present, which consists of single larger egg cell and the corner cells, or we can say the adjacent cells called the synergid cells, which are 2 in number, that is synergid cells surrounding the egg cells. These are the structure called egg apparatus, which is present at the micropylar end. Opposite to this is the Chalzaland. This is the Chalzaland, or we can say the Chalza. It contains 3 cells which is known as antipodal cells. These are known as antipodal cells. Now the nuclei which remains at the center is known as central nuclei, or we can say the polar nuclei, central cell. We can say the polar nuclei or the central cell. So this is the structure which is formed after the meiosis and the meiotic division of the megaspore. Megaspore mother cell first undergo meiosis in order to form the 4 megaspores, out of which 3 will degenerate and 1 will remain functional. The one which will remain functional, it will undergo 3 times karyokinesis, and hence the 8 nucleated structure we got, which after which cytokinesis will occur and rearrangement will occur. Wall formation will also takes place, and hence the structure which we got is known as embryo sac. The structure we got is known as embryo sac. This is what? Embryo sac. Embryo sac, again the ovule in which female gametes has been formed. ये ओव्यूल ही है जो हमने अभी ओव्यूल का स्ट्रक्चर देखा था, उसमें जो न्यूसेलर सेल था वो मेगास्पोर मदर सेल में कन्वर्ट हुआ और फिर वहीं से हमें फीमेल गैमेट्स फॉर्म हुए. दैट इज दिस इज द फीमेल गैमेट. द सेल्स विच टेक्स पार्ट इन द फर्टिलाइजेशन ओवर हेयर इज एग सेल एंड द polar nuclei. These are the two cells. So basically embryo sac is the ovule itself which contains female gametes. After formation of female gamete, that ovule or megasporangium is termed as embryo sac. Why do we call it as embryo sac? Because in this structure only embryo will form after fertilization. हम इसे embryo sac क्यों बोल रहे हैं? पहले हम इसे ovule और megasporangium बोल रहे थे क्योंकि उस टाइम तक फीमेल गैमेट्स फॉर्म नहीं हुए थे. बट आफ्टर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ फीमेल गैमेट, अभी फीमेल गैमेट यहाँ पर फॉर्म हो चुके हैं जो दे विल टेक पार्ट इन द फर्टिलाइजेशन, जो कि फर्टिलाइजेशन में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे. ड्यू टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ फीमेल गैमेट दिस कंप्लीट स्ट्रक्चर दैट ओव्यूल स्ट्रक्चर इज नोन एज एम्ब्रियो सैक. अब हम इसे नाम दे देंगे एम्ब्रियो सैक. क्यों? क्योंकि इसके बाद फर्टिलाइजेशन होगा, फर्टिलाइजेशन के बाद जायगॉट फॉर्म होगा, जायगॉट के बाद एम्ब्रियो, मतलब एम्ब्रियो भी यहीं फॉर्म होगा, इसलिए हम इसको एम्ब्रियो सैक नाम देते हैं. सो दिस इज द प्रोसेस कॉल्ड मेगास्पोरोजेनेसिस इन विच the female gametes are formed. After this process, the event which will occur, that is male gamete has formed, female gamete has formed. We know that male gamete are non-motile, वो motile नहीं है. They have to travel from their site of formation to their site of fertilization. जहाँ पर वो form हुए हैं वहाँ से उन्हें female part तक पहुँचना है in order to fertilize, क्योंकि fertilization process को conduct करवाना है. So this process of transfer of male gamete to the female gamete is known as pollination. This is the next event which will take place after this megasporogenesis. Microsporogenesis has done, megasporogenesis has done. Now the process after this is called as pollination. This we will discuss.